Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another video talking about all the kind of cool stuff that's been announced about Warlords of Draenor expansion in World of Warcraft. So there's a whole bunch of new stuff coming out, obviously. There's going to be dungeon scenarios and raids, and there's some nice changes that are coming out with the raids. So I read something somewhere about the raids. There's going to be like 2 raids with a 16 boss total. Hear me, 16, 1-6, it's quite a few bosses. That's a lot of bosses, whoa. And one of the things that they're adding now is you're going to have normal difficulty, heroic difficulty, and then above all of that, mythic difficulty. So the heroic version. So what I'm kind of wondering is, what are they going to do with normal and heroic? Are they going to make them easier? Or are they going to keep normal and heroic at the current level that they are and just make mythic unbelievably hard so that even the top guilds are going to really struggle? Is that what they're going for? Leave your idea in the comments section below and share your thoughts on that. Anyway, so you've got something else coming, which is, you've all heard about the flexible raiding, I'm sure, that's come out. So you've got flex raiding, and the nice thing about flex raiding is, of course, the scaling. So when you have 10 players in the group, everything's health is at a certain level, the damage, the abilities, they all change and scale up and down. The more people you get in, the more damage certain things do, the more stuff happens. So basically it just scales its difficulty depending on how many people you have, so that you can bring along like 13 people and everything's still fine. And apparently they are going to be adding this to normal and heroic mode. Mythic is going to be set at 20 players, so basically it's not 25 man, it's not 10 man, it is exactly 20 apparently. But you've got the normal and heroic difficulties being scaled, so I imagine it'll be between 10 and 25 man modes. So you can bring 25 people if you want to, or you could bring 17. Or 13, or 12, or 11. Not 9, I wouldn't bring 9, that does not seem like a good idea, because I doubt that it will scale below 10, but this is pretty cool change. So, I'm wondering how this is going to affect the raiding, because some groups are going to want to be doing Mythic, so that is going to encourage a lot of people to have 20-man groups, and hopefully with the scaling thing, you should be able to bring 20 people along for normal and heroic. But if your guild doesn't want to do this mythic group, or maybe you're just never going to get to mythic because it's just unbelievably hard, then you can bring along your 19 people or your 17 people, and you can still raid and get everyone a chance to raid pretty much, which is, I think, a pretty cool change. We'll obviously see how it works out. Obviously, if the scaling isn't done correctly, it'll be a massive, colossal train smash that will shatter the worlds of Azeroth. In ways never before seen. But if it's pulled off correctly, then I think this could be a very, very nice change, because of course the horrible thing is when you've got like 10 people for normal mode, and this one guy that's like, hey guys, I want to raid, and you have to say no, because you can't do 25, and you can't do 10 with 11 people. But now, you can do 11-man mode, unless you're doing Mythic, of course. So this is a pretty cool change. And it looks like they're adding a whole bunch of dungeons and scenarios and raids and challenge modes and all kinds of that kind of stuff. But 16 bosses! Whoa! That is kind of intense. Whoa. I mean, we're all talking about Siege of Orgrimmar being pretty intense with 14 bosses. That is amazingly huge. And now you're going to have 16 bosses. And if you think about how many bosses there are across the difficulties, you've basically got Siege of Orgrimmar with 14 times 2 in terms of you got normal and heroic mode. Let's not count flex and NFR for the moment. But you've got normal and heroic mode times 14, right? And now you're going to have normal, heroic, and mythic. So are people going to have to kill normal mode bosses in order to advance to heroic mode? And then they're going to have to struggle through heroic mode bosses to finally maybe scratch, maybe like dent the first boss of mythic, who might be like just unbelievably powerful, maybe the kind of level that heroic Ragnaros was or something in Firelands, and maybe that'll be like the very, very first and easiest boss of Mythic, and everyone is just going to just butt their heads in frustration and have so much fun, because of course everyone's always going, we need it to be harder, please make it harder, and now I have a feeling that Blizzard is going to use that to say, but you said you wanted it harder, why are you squealing in pain? We thought you liked this. We even went and made a special difficulty for you, just so that you could be tortured in horrible ways. And that is it for this particular video, talking about the raids and stuff. Obviously, we will know more in the future, and hopefully I'll get into the beta and we can have a look at some sweet stuff coming out then. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and cheerio for now.